Before we begin, please be advised that this show may contain some adult themes that may not be appropriate for all listeners. Use your discretion. Now, on to our show. Welcome to the Sip and Sog Society, where we cover histories, mysteries, and just any story worth telling. Every week, Karina, Randy, and Greg discuss a year in time while slowly traumatizing each other along the way. I'm Karina, and today we are covering the second part of the story of Ida Craddock. This story is definitely something else, and if you haven't listened to part one of Ida Craddock, you might want to do that before listening to this episode. When we left off, Anthony Comstock was having a moment because at the Chicago World Fair there was belly dancing, and this was an issue. If you want to know how lascivious the belly dancing was, it wasn't. They were wearing long sleeves. He was just being super extra. Anywho, so he writes an article in the New York World, and then people respond to it in the same newspaper on August 13th. In 1893. There's a whole page of responses to Anthony Comstock complaining about this dance. And the last two letters in this article were from women. And one of them was 2 full columns. And that one was from Ida Craddock. And that's where we left off. Ida defended the dance as a religious memorial of a worship which existed thousands of years ago all over the world, which taught self-control and purity of life as they had never been taught since. She said to suppress this dance, as Anthony Comstock and others proposed to do, strikes a blow at social purity and at the diffusion of the scientific truth. It is our American men and women, and not the women who dance, who are responsible for the atmosphere of the indecent suggestion surrounding the very mention of the dance du ventre at the World Fair. Let the significance of this dance as a religious memorial of purity and self-control be broadcast so that Anthony Comstock and his helpers might be enlightened on the subject. So she's like, he doesn't know anything about anything, and that's why he thinks that this is just about sex, but it's because he's uneducated. Ida's full letter was published in the medical journal Chicago Clinic, and Comstock, as a volunteer postal inspector, declared the issue obscene and a crime to send through the mail.
Oh, of
Ida,
course.
yeah,
Of course.
this is too much. Ida, being reasonable, responded by typing copies of the essay and offering them for sale herself in person at 50 cents each. She made the public aware of her public defiance as Comstock found. Oh, yeah, because she became famous with her fighting him like through the papers,
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
and people were ready and willing to pay for her work. It was easy to find people.
Yeah,
Her
because
her
just like today, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? You
the people
wanna,
love it.
you're like, I'm gonna watch that. I want to
I
Yeah.
watch
do like a
that.
good feud over print though, you know.
Yes.
Like
We don't do that the
that
same.
was like the that was like the modern day equivalent of a Twitter war, you know? Like where you go back and forth. Like that was the thing. It's like, "Oh shit, what are they going to say next?"
Well, and that's what I
Yeah.
thought was super interesting is I was thinking about how the way we communicate has really changed, because most of us before, you would look at the newspaper and be like, what's up in here? And now the modern day equivalent is going through your Facebook or your Twitter and be like, oh, that's what's happening now.
Yeah.
And like, so and so responded to
That's
to this
concerning.
because
I
of
I
this.
don't know that
so
I
like
like that.
Yeah. Because think
so
about it,
when
people do that through reels and stuff where they're like, X said this. Now they're responding on their Twitter. Literally, the president
You should
does
always
this stuff.
verify.
yeah.
If you hear it on social
So
media, guys, you should always be
what
verifying.
Rule
No,
number
no, but I
one.
like the print stuff from like this era because like even going back to like earlier when I was in undergrad, I wrote a paper about a debate like it was this debate that played out in a British magazine over the American Declaration of Independence. So like a month after the declaration was written, it was published in this magazine so like people in London could read it. And then like this started a debate that went on for months. I was like following it through the issues with like
Hmm.
a couple of people debating back and forth where like some people are like, "Oh yeah, like, they don't have representation, so like they're fine." And other people are like trying to argue against that and stuff. And so like this caused a bunch of people in Britain to like bicker back and forth.
I really love that. It's
It's
like the
fascinating.
small person being like, well, actually, I think this. Like, I want to know what the everyday people were thinking, and I think that's fascinating. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really
This
cool.
one was in a magazine that also it's called the Gentleman's Magazine.
Oh, fancy.
Okay. I just
Yeah.
love it. I just love thinking about people 200 years ago being just like me, wanting to know all the tea. I'd be out
Yeah.
there,
Yeah.
Ida, I'm paying 50 cents. Tell me what you have to say, darling.
What did you say about sex?
Exactly. I want to hear all about undulating women.
Tell me more.
So in her paper, so she ended up making a new version, a more what is it when people put out their album and then they put out the deluxe version? This was the deluxe version of her
Mm,
essay.
hmm.
So she talked about the practice of this of male continence. So that means the man holds it like where you don't ejaculate.
So we're talking about like semen retention.
Yeah, holding it in.
Edging
Yeah,
or
No,
like
no,
similar but different.
there's
just
people doing
full
this
on just.
today. That's part of the whole like manosphere bullshit today, where it's like if you
You
don't
keep it in.
ejaculate, the whole idea is that like you will retain testosterone and you're like losing that like today, which is
Mm,
ironic because if
mm,
you do
mm.
that, it actually like lowers your
Lowers. Yeah,
testosterone.
it's not good. You
Yeah.
need to be clearing that out.
It needs
Yep.
to
They
get
get
out.
made, they need to go
Your prostate will thank
somewhere.
you. Yeah.
Women have to do it once a month. Men have to take care of it. This is the science side, guys. Come on, let's
It is.
learn.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't think so. Ida thinks if you hold it back, that means that you're self-disciplined, and that means that your sexual experience will be even more fulfilling later.
Yeah,
But
but
it's similar to
you're
So
still
that is
doing something
edging. Yeah.
later though. This isn't
Yeah.
like endless.
this isn't endless. And but she did believe that women should hold back too. Like you shouldn't everyone should just abstain. It's
Until
part of
when?
sexual control. I don't know when she said yes.
Oh, like abstain from sex entirely?
No, because she has sex, but they mean like abstain and like her big thing was self-discipline to
You know
have the
what? Yeah, this
best
is a
Okay.
sex ever.
sanctity. This is a sanctity of sex situation. This is
Yeah.
like sex is this that's what this feels like. That kind of bullshit. Like
Hmm.
between a man and a woman who love each other this
She did
feels
believe
like
that it should be through married couples.
yeah,
Like you
there we
should be
go.
Okay.
just,
There we go.
I
but
mean,
it's so,
that tracks for the time though,
yeah.
you know.
I'm
And
not
we will talk,
arguing against it. I just finally got to where she was at.
yeah. Oh, Randy, you're gonna love it
A little
later.
less liberal than I was hoping for,
Oh,
but that's fine.
we talk about the pros and the cons of Ida's beliefs later. Anywho, so technically, so Ida's given us all this advice. She's talking about why married couples do the dance in their own homes. It's for children, it's for physical enjoyment. But she thinks of another reason, and it's like for enlightenment.
Really?
Enlightenment. She thinks this is how you can be the closest you can to God, which I'm
To the
like,
spiritual.
I
Yeah.
I respect it. It's a spiritual time. It's a spiritual awakening.
There's a
But so
documentary kind
yeah,
of similar to that about a cult that used yoga
I have heard
to
of this
tantric
cult.
yoga. It's on HBO. It's really good. I know Greg won't watch it. I'll do a synopsis of it for you,
I
Greg,
won't
later.
watch it. I won't watch a documentary like that though if it's
Greg,
interesting.
I heard
It's no,
If
sex.
it's
it's
so
Undulating?
good.
tantric
It
sex
Undulating,
is
Greg?
cult
so
yoga, I'm
good.
like,
It
here,
is
sign me up, you know?
it is well, it's disturbing, but yeah.
Yeah.
It's really interesting
I watched
really
Tiger King.
interesting.
Like
Which one did you watch?
Tiger King.
Tiger
I'd
King,
never
Greg.
watched
I've
that.
watched Tiger
You
King.
haven't? I mean, like, I mean,
No,
that's a
okay.
long form documentary,
Yes,
you
no,
know?
here's my thing.
It
I
is.
couldn't watch it because everyone knew when that came out, everyone knew I was from Oklahoma, and they were like, "Have you seen it? Have you seen it?" And I
Dude,
was like,
so
"I'm
I've
not
been
fucking
there. So I
watching
realized as
it."
I was watching it that I've been to
No, I've
the
been there
EW
too.
Exotic. Yeah, yeah,
Yes, I
yeah.
know I've been
Because
there
I tried to
too.
go to Turner Falls and it was packed the fuck out. And I went up the road and saw the signs. And I was like, oh, I can pet a tiger? Bet. Like, and went and met Joe Exotic.
Yeah. Yeah,
Because you
he's
don't
got his
forget Joe
own water
Exotic.
park, Joe Exotic's water park. Like that's what I'm saying. But I was like, I can't watch the documentary because I know that it's going to make people think even worse of people from Oklahoma, and it's going to only make it even harder for me to make them think I'm smart at all. That
Well,
show
I don't
really
think
made me
about it,
really
Oklahoma
angry.
at all when I think about that. I just think about the
Everyone else does, Greg.
insanity.
Literally everyone I knew was like, "Have you seen it? Did you know the Tiger King?" I was like, "Fuck." And then I couldn't even tell them that I had been there because I was like,
Yeah.
"Fuck."
Well, I had this realization as I'm watching it. I was like, oh shit, that's the place I went this one time.
Yes.
Like,
I love it. Yeah. Anyway, I would suggest the documentary on HBO though about the yoga tantric sex cult. It is very interesting. It is it is I just find cults fascinating, so I think it's a very interesting documentary.
I read oh my God. I listened to the Rotten Mango episode on that cult, and it is unsettling, like genuinely unsettling. Anywho,
I wish
so
it's sad
Ida,
be
oh, go ahead,
oh,
Randy.
sorry. No,
Go ahead.
it just took me a second to process what you said because it's sad because outside of that, like tantric practices are like ancient. Those are like those have been used for a really long time. They're really important in a lot of ways and
You
like
know how people,
aligning and feeling better.
you know how people have the word gentrification for when white people do come in?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like there should be a word for cultification. Maybe that should be it, where people are like, take something that could be really great
and
and
turn
they
it
just
into a
turn it
cult.
into
Oh,
some abusive, fucked up way to cult people,
mm-hmm.
to
Mm-hmm.
create an abusive system for your own success. I don't know. Anyway,
Well, I mean, but that does make sense because cults work a lot by like breaking you down and then building you up again, right? So like you got to have something to be the good part of it.
there's always a way to make it a cult, Randy.
Yeah, I'm not charismatic
Unfortunately.
enough for that, unfortunately, but I might start my own religion. I sent you a link, Karina, if you're at all interested. Greg, you're welcome to join in order to
Is
become
this,
tax
oh, you've got
free.
like a website for your religion?
Yeah, in order to become tax free, I just need two non-family members to join.
Oh,
Randy,
yeah.
you want to make this a cult? It we can make
That's
it.
what I'm saying. No, I was
That's
like,
how we
we can
become
incorporate book
a
club.
business.
We could,
Our
we could
religion
just
is we
make
meet
it
up
a
once a
This
month.
is how we make that 503c or whatever it
right.
is,
Yes,
like the
this is like the
designation.
dissident daughter. Like we could make it a female deity base. Like we could
I like
just
it.
fuck
Yeah, yeah,
about.
yeah.
We could fuck about.
I would make a
Well, I'm
religion.
already ordained in Dudism as a religion. Like I can marry
Excellent.
people in Arkansas under as a Dudist priest.
A
So
dudist. I love it. See,
I've always
yeah.
wanted to be ordained, so this would really give me a reason. I'm one of the priests.
I have to get ordained before
I have
Mormon
my
wedding,
card
so
like in Arkansas. Like I've legally married two couples. So
to
it's kind of
Vere.
fucking cool to have like married people.
I'm excited because of my outfit. I wanted to do
I'm
that was
excited
a
for
weird
you,
little
Randy.
rabbit
I like
trail.
it.
Sorry, guys.
Like a
Yeah.
month after I got married, I officiated the wedding for my brother-in-law and his wife, which was great because it was like they were fighting it, and then it was like we want to get married here, and they're like the place we wanted to go like doesn't have an officiant. And I was like, guess who's licensed to marry people in Arkansas?
Mm-hmm.
Me. And they were like, because they were kind of like Brooke suggested. She was like, Greg should marry you guys. And they were like, nah, we don't want to. And they were like, can you please do it? And I was like, yeah, of course.
Yeah, it's fun. I think I don't know. I like when it's people that I care about and I love. Like I'm not a big person that enjoys weddings. Like if I don't know the people, I don't really want to go to the wedding. That's not
Mhm.
my vibe. But when it's people I know and love, I'm like, yeah, let's fucking celebrate like all night long. So I think this will be like a whole new level of getting to be like I've been a bridesmaid, I've signed a wedding certificate as a witness. Like I've done a lot of different roles in the wedding
Now you get
sphere,
to do
so
the
this
full
will be
shebang.
yeah, and this will be the first time as officiant, so I'm excited.
I think it's
Okay,
very
sorry,
cool.
Karina.
Oh,
I
you're not
really
fine.
didn't mean to get us so far off track.
Well, speaking of getting married, Ida wasn't.
Like segue.
Oh, this poor girl was abstinent, huh?
No, she wasn't. But how did she know about sex, Randy? Because
Well,
obviously she knew something if she's writing whole paragraphs about it.
her mother. I thought it was a poorly exposed childhood.
She was she sold weed, Randy. She wasn't a prostitute. Not
She
that
married. Okay.
the mom,
That's
but
fair.
she okay, just because she got married. Well, you know what? It was the 1800s. She could be married and having sex in front of her.
The small rooms, sounds, thin walls. I'm just,
Mm-mm.
thinking.
I think, yeah, people grew up with that for a
Yeah,
long time.
yeah. It's only recently that we as a society have been
Like
so
separate rooms and stuff like
separate.
that.
Okay,
Yeah.
but they don't talk about things
No,
apparently
they don't, but
because
in the period that I study, they shoved the kids up into the loft, and like maybe had some curtains for privacy, but it's like
you can
you're in a
hear.
one room like
Yeah,
cabin basically.
yeah. And
There's
probably
that cabin up in Pettigene in Arkansas that's like the couple there, it's like right at the one of the trails. It's right there, and they're like this couple had like 15 kids, and this it's basically a tiny home by
yeah,
like
15,
today's standards.
15
yeah.
kids in a tiny home, Greg?
Yeah. Also, like, there's no way they didn't hear things going on.
hmm See
No.
things. I'm
Yeah.
thinking also from an indigenous native side, like in longhouses, oftentimes the
Mhm.
bedrolls would not be that far away from each other. Like
Yeah.
it was just a reality of the time. That's
But also it is a time of the reform and she was very strict and very like prude in her thinking.
yes, but two
The
different
mom
men. She's
was.
gonna know. Oh, well, yes.
The mom was, so that's how she raised her. So the way
And I
that
didn't get any siblings, right?
no, it's Ida and her sister, but her sister died. And the other sibling she
Yeah.
has is
So maybe like
from
a half
the
sister.
dad's previous marriage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anywho, so Ida ends the writing, her writings on the dance by saying that she would speak, that she was speaking from the standing of a wife. And you're like, but how, Ida? According to the last paragraph in Ida's writing, she had married her husband in October of 1892, but he was someone from a world beyond the grave.
What?
Was she a
Like,
medium?
oh, so
Was
she's
she
like
a medium?
spiritually married to someone who's like dead or not alive?
Yeah,
But also
yeah.
still not having sex. So Karina.
No, she was, Brandy. She was. Her and her
With this
spirit husband.
person.
Yeah, yeah,
With the ghost?
yeah, yeah.
Wow. Imagine her imagination. That's just got to be amazing to be able to do that kind of work for yourself.
It's amazing. Yeah, it's phenomenal. But if,
So
yes,
there's
I will bring
a
more up later. That's why I'm
So
like,
hold on. I will say, like, there people believe some weird and wild shit because around the time of like the end of the American Revolution, there's this like Quaker visionary cult leader named Jemima Wilkinson, who's like the universal public friend. Like that's what she called herself. So she's a Quaker, so the Quakers are friends, but she was like the incarnation of God or something, and like had a whole following. Like people
you can
believe
make
weird
anything a
shit.
cult. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
I
No, I
immediately
mean
went.
like
I was like,
literally
this
I
is a
used
cult
this
again.
book one time when I was teaching like the early Republic, like post-revolution period, that like opens with this whole story of like people saw like the sky raining blood, like blood coming down from the sky, and it was like this visionary, like religious experience for a bunch of people. Like shit was wild back then.
Did it actually rain blood?
No, I don't think so. But like a bunch of people all had this experience where they were like, you know, they saw the sky raining blood.
Right? I feel like it's so much more likely that they all got food poisoning and got high together on accident, and somebody said
But
something.
also, the world is a mysterious place, and sometimes things combine at the right way. Who know? Like it could be a bacteria or something. Like it could be
Well,
something that we
yes,
just don't know how to
yes.
explain.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Because like there's the red skies and that happened in Greece from the Sahara. Like it rains, again, everything's red and like orange skies. It's very apocalyptic.
Mm-hmm.
I can see that.
Yeah.
And it's only getting worse because of global warming.
What isn't getting worse because of global warming?
Mm.
Rant.
I'm thinking. I'm thinking.
Yes, some may say that conveniently Ida came up with her ghost marriage as a way to defend her knowledge of sex. She wasn't legally married, and during the 1800s, that meant three things, potentially. She had no sexual experience, which meant that she wasn't really able to be a credible source due to her inexperience, or she had out of marriage relations. And with that kind of reputation and lack of morals, how could she be any authority on anything? So she addressed this before the question could even be brought up, and she announced her ghost marriage. One of the first biographers to look into Ida's life, Theodor Schroeder, believed that Ida had more than just a spiritual life. Although there is no direct admission through writing from Ida herself what relationships she may have had before her spirit marriage, Schroeder believes that Ida may have been extra close with two different men before 1892. The first of these men is Euclid Frick, the son of a family friend who had agreed to care for Ida when she moved to California in 1887. She lived with Euclid in Oakland while Ida worked as a bank clerk and he attended medical school. In a letter to a friend, she wrote, "Never was she so happy in her life as she was at that moment." Euclid graduated medical school, married another woman, and then Ida just returned to Philadelphia.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah. Later, Ida would say that they were good friends in a brother sister way and was very insistent that there was never the slightest exchange of caresses between them, which Schroeder, the historian, says felt like a little suspicious because she was very insistent.
Yeah,
Very
doth protest
insistent.
too much.
Yes. The second man that Ida was according to Theodor Schroeder involved with was an ex-clergyman and heretical mystic that Ida had worked for as a secretary after she returned from California. He never directly mentioned like she never wrote his name down in her journals or anything, but through guessing and through educated guesses, Schroeder could deduce that it was a Presbyterian minister who had become a lawyer and freethinker who challenged traditional Christian dogmas and was much older than Euclid and a student of Eastern mysticism. It was a man named, let me see what his name was. I thought I wrote it down. That's why I was like, where did I put it? So she never writes him. She
I
never
was like,
writes
we
about
don't need
him.
his name.
No, it's just another white man.
Yeah, it doesn't really
So
matter.
his name is Richard, I'm pretty sure.
I'll do
Westbrook.
Richard.
Richard.
Yeah.
Thank you for
His last
moving the
name is
plot
Westbrook
forward,
for
Richard.
sure. I love that I wrote all of the details about him, but didn't actually write his name. Anywho,
He's a plot
so
piece.
yeah. But their relationship ended when she separated from the American Secular Union, an organization that they were both a part of and that they worked in until 1891. So when they stopped working together in that organization, they just stopped sleeping together. But a year after their separation, Ida's spirit husband arrived, and his name was Soph. He was the spirit of a young man who Ida knew as a teenager. So she thinks it's this guy that she grew up with, and she met him through the Ouija board, and now they're having a relationship, and had a short astral courtship, and then got spirit married. So they're married, legal, spiritly.
What does that mean?
I don't know. I don't know what an astral courtship is either, but
That
so
feels like astral projection, like,
Yeah.
like
Well, I'll just say we've moved outside the bounds of like Orthodox religion. Like we're getting like with Christianity, you know. But like, like my mom and stepdad are like back together after a whole fucking decade apart and both divorced their partners. And they're like, it's all good because we have a covenant marriage. So like we got married to other people, yes, like, but that doesn't count. And I'm like, there's nothing in the Bible that like supports that, you know? Like
that's a lot
you
of
tell
hoop
yourself whatever you
jumping.
need to sleep better at night.
also though, aren't covenant marriages something entirely different?
Well, according to the state of Arkansas, if you have a covenant marriage, you have to wait like 2 years to get divorced.
Yeah, like
Oh.
we have that in Louisiana, in Oklahoma too, where covenant marriages are like biblically based,
It's
so
like
it's like
super
so
marriage,
yeah, it makes it so
Like,
much harder to get out of
yeah, it's
marriage.
harder to get divorced because you have to do like premarital counseling before in Arkansas, and then like to get divorced, it's like it has to be like 2 years of like separation,
Mm-hmm.
which is a long time to wait to get divorced, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, well, so that's just education for everybody.
Yeah,
Covenant marriages are scary in any form.
right. But she has an astral marriage, which is like next level. That's like beyond covenant.
Is that like really, is that how we know that the universe put its stamp on it?
I don't know.
I don't know if she has any paperwork on it. I'm not sure.
Who would ordain that?
I don't know. The book talks about a lot about her having a lot of spirit guides and friends that join her along the way and help her out. So maybe them? I don't know.
Maybe them. Okay.
Mhm. In 1894, Ida prepared a lecture called Celestial Bridegrooms, which was supposed to take place in front of the Ladies' Liberal League. Westbrook, the guy that she was sleeping with but not sleeping with, secretly tried to cancel the talk, which he failed to do so. And then, before she went on, he decided to give the crowd a speech asking them to ignore what she was talking about because she was unworthy of consideration. Ida was hurt because obviously she has feelings. She didn't have a chance to sulk about it though, because around the same time, her mother Lizzie tried to put her in an asylum. So, obviously, where do you go but to your ex who told everybody not to listen to you? So she ran to the Westbrook family home where Richard was done with her and her spirit husband, but his wife, Henrietta, felt bad for her and took her in.
I'm glad someone did.
Yeah. Ida ran off to New York and quickly learned that Lizzie was not done. She had hired two men to abduct Ida and take her to the asylum.
That's
I,
wild.
yeah, Ida wasn't dumb and was not going to the asylum, obviously. She was like, why would I go? She arranged various false trails to throw her mother off the scent and sent her luggage to Jersey City and then also sent her typewriter to Canada, but then redirected both of them under various assumed names back to New York. She met with her friend W.T. Stead, a British journalist and spiritualist, who then hired her as his research assistant and arranged for her passage to England. So she goes to London and assumes the alias Mrs. Irene S. Roberts. She spent a lot of time researching at the British Museum and writing her manuscript of Heavenly Bridegrooms. It was her attempt to find biblical and classical references to defend her relationship. Ida
The
had the
book,
detailed,
wait, the book's name is Heavenly Bridegrooms.
uh-huh,
Okay, did it get published?
I think it does. She publishes,
Okay.
I mean, I don't know if they're like full books or like little pamphlets.
Like
More
really, Craig, I
pamphlet-y than
need you to
book.
go spelunking to see if that exists somewhere.
It's in a lot of them are in that book. It's like half the book is just her writing,
I
is
would
Ida's
seriously
writing.
love to read that wherever
It,
that exists.
I have some little snippets of what she writes about in there, and they're fascinating. So I'm sure you would really enjoy it, honestly. So yes, she has detailed libraries of her spiritual experiences from the spring. of 1894 until she died. So she had a ton of journals of just all of her spiritual experiences.
That's cool.
Detailed, consistent, and really the author of the book really gives you the impression that Ida's writing isn't like mystical in the sense of like she's just making shit up. It's like very clear that she is aware of what is spiritual world, what is her everyday physical world, and she's very consistent with the story she's telling. So it's not like Ida just made this stuff up for her own amusement. Like this is the reality she lives in. And her book, Heavenly Bridegrooms, was a way of understanding how Ida's beliefs of sexual mysticism had evolved and continued to evolve throughout her life. She said one of the benefits of sexual intercourse, whether with an earthly partner or a heavenly one, is that it is surest and safest method of seeking union with the divine heart of the universe. But in order to really do that, you have to follow a strict program and be trained in self-control. She spent her life in constant contact with several spirit guides and was very detailed in her writings about these experiences. Some examples are these are just like little journal entries. It also has a bunch of her writings in it, but it includes a few of her journal entries to give you a real vision of what she was going through with these spiritual experiences with her husband. Last night, my dear husband was with me, as he has not been with me for some time, and we united sexually. Last night we united, and I lying on my face, he manifested at my clitoris and told me not to fear. And she goes on to
Oh
say that
boy.
she gets closer to orgasm, so he manifests in her uterus or her cervix or something. And I'm like, that's a lot of movement that he's doing in there. The book or writing Heavenly Bridegrooms is the work Ida is best known for because of Theodore Schroeder. He found it super fascinating and he wrote about her a decade after her death and began making like he found out about her and started researching and keeping documents. And that's where a lot of this information comes from. It's just people finding interesting people to talk about, Randy. That's how the history comes around.
Well, I'm just saying, I also find this fascinating.
Yeah.
I'm not I'm not surprised that he was like, "Let me learn more."
Yes. In 1894, Ida and her mother made up from their argument and her attempting to put her daughter in the asylum. And on June 20th, her mother came to London. And by the summer of 1895, she returned to the United States, Ida did, and was living with her mother once again.
That
She
feels
wanted
dangerous.
to, yeah, she should not be living with her mom. So Ida wanted to be cool with the family, and she knew of Comstock and his issues with her writing, and so she was trying to be cool, but she also still wanted to to spread her truth. She had a lot of strong feelings about spreading her message. And she was convinced that her teaching could solve a lot of marital issues and improve marital satisfaction. And she didn't want to get in trouble with the law, so she checked the Philadelphia post office, and they told her that the Comstock law was still in effect. And I think even if it doesn't still exist to its full effect, it still remains at some capacity,
Oh, they're
at
still
least
using it. Yeah, no, they're
and
using it
yeah,
currently to
Yeah, they're
not
like
ship
definitely
birth
trying
control.
to
Yeah.
make it stronger than
do
it
that
was.
to
Yes.
well and to like stop like companies mailing uh like the morning after pills to other states.
I think it's really embarrassing for this country, but that's just anyway.
Oh yeah, no, it's regressive as fuck.
Yeah. But at this time, it was even more strict, and it was illegal to send any writing about sex in the mail. Nothing sexual at all. But Ida did what she could, and she spread her truth directly to individuals. She counseled people and taught her wisdom one by one. She developed a program for regeneration and rejuvenation of men and women through the right use of sexual function. Ida wrote Right Marital Living in 1899 using her newfound experience as half doctor, half minister, sort of sex therapist. This was her job. Her
Sort of
lessons,
sex therapist.
sort of sex therapist. Her lessons focused on self control as well as the personal advantages of happy marriage and sexual satisfaction. In 1900, she wrote The Wedding Night, a pamphlet for bride and groom on the first night. It also incorporated yoga as well as just practical instruction. Ida wasn't perfect, though. Some of her ideas include the belief that masturbation is unhealthy, that a child conceived while the dad was drunk would mean that the child was mentally unbalanced. She
Ooh,
opposed
that's
all the.
rough.
That might be fetal alcohol syndrome.
Yeah.
Drinking was happening.
Yeah, that's true. More drinking was happening than it is now, I think.
But was it the alcohol is strong, I guess is my question.
I think she just means if they were drunk at all while they made the child would just be.
I'm just saying
It's
that
like if there's any
probably is
alcohol involved at all.
Yes, but I think that it could be based in the truth of fetal alcohol syndrome. I
yes,
agree with you on
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
that's what I'm
Yeah.
really getting at. Yeah.
But it's
That's
fine. She also opposed contraception because it was considered for her to be unreliable, illegal,
She
masturbative.
she has a ghost husband. She doesn't have to worry about
fair.
15
Okay, but
children.
contraception is morally degrading, Randy.
She has a ghost husband. She doesn't have to worry about she doesn't have to worry about that shit.
One of her other controversial ideas came out when she wrote a letter to the editor of the Philadelphia Public Ledger regarding the story of a gang rape that occurred that was reported in the paper. She said that imprisonment alone was not enough, that she recommended training for sexual self-control, but until that was available, the only option was castration.
Don't disagree.
Oh wow.
Exactly. But then she ruins it again with the suggestion to use infant fetal circumcision as a cure for certain things. So she
No.
has her moments, and then she just has other moments that are not as good. But
What
she
so what are your thoughts on that? Just curious.
on infant female circumcision.
Infant
I,
circumcision.
infant
Female.
circumcision in general, I do not agree with. I don't. If I had a child, I would not make that choice for them.
I agree.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about it.
Yeah, I've
I think
seen
that that's something you should allow them to
Yeah.
make a choice.
decide. Yeah.
Yep.
That's how I
And you can
feel,
try
and like admittedly, like coming to that like late to the party because I was much younger when my son was born, and the hospital was just like, we want to do this, and
90%.
you're like, okay, you know.
It's like 90% of the babies that were like, it's something, now I'm making that number up, but it's like something astronomical like that because hospitals just started doing it as a, they started doing it as a cleanliness thing. They thought it was cleaner. Anyway, I don't think you should blame yourself, Greg, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's fair.
I think they do push it a lot
They do.
on purpose.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Still push it quite a bit.
Yes. But back to Ida. But yeah, I've speaking of circumcision, I've seen two in person, like children, little babies, fresh out the
Hmm.
womb that they do it to. Because I was in nursing school, we had to see it, and I was
Hmm.
like, no.
So you had to
More.
watch it.
We had to watch it.
With
And
my
it's
son,
one of
they
the
put like the
worst
band
things.
on it, and it just like falls off, you know.
Yes, but they have to do stuff to it before it's just the band.
Oh, really?
You have to put it on there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. There's the few I've seen have been really horrendous. Anyway, okay.
I believe it.
And it's sad. They strap them to a little table and they're just little babies. I would never. Well, now that we've all agreed, guys.
The
Nothing
circumcision
again,
sucks.
and nothing against anyone's religious beliefs. Like, I don't agree with it, but I don't think it physically causes harm. I just I think that it's wrong. I think that I also don't believe in getting ears pierced until the child's old enough. You know what I mean? So like
Yeah, that's fair.
I think that's all valid.
I just would rather you do it in a hospital than have like, you know, a
Some random
clergyman.
person do it.
Yes, like that doesn't sanitary and sterile always best, guys.
Hmm.
Okay, I'll let you get back now.
Okay, now, Ida was also a supporter of the belief that sex can be for pleasure and procreation. both natural and independent of each other, which I think is a belief we can all agree on. Ida insisted that desire and pleasure were just as important for women as men in the relationship. One of her controversial soapboxes was that she didn't believe it was the wife's marital duty to provide sex. A wife that submits to sex without desiring it also herself is no better than a harlot. In fact, she's worse because a harlot gets paid.
Whoa. Wow.
Yeah. This is why Comstock was like, arrest her all the time. He was tired of her.
But also I don't know that we need to do all the shaming around the liberation. That's a lot of shame for that.
Mm-hmm. It is very interesting when she's like, I think you should have the freedom to choose, but if you give it to him, you're a slut. Like, what?
Yeah. Or like if you were trapped in a marriage where he would get really mad and you know what I mean? Like where's the
Yeah.
allowances for violence and coercion?
Well, she did believe that a husband who imposed his wife to sex against her will was guilty of rape because you are. And
So
until the
she's a
19,
slut and he's a rapist in that scenario. That's what we're
yeah,
saying. Okay.
I
Well,
think that what it means is like if
she's
she is
she's
submitting
a fair
herself when
blame player.
she's blaming her if she does it when she doesn't want to do it just because it's for him. But I think if he does it against her will, I think that's different, is what I'm understanding from
Yeah,
Ida's
but coercion
literature.
can sound like a lot of things.
I agree, Randy. I
It
fully
can.
agree. I think it can be as easy as just, well, you're hurting my balls with your blue balls
Yeah.
activities. You know what I mean? Like, where it's like, oh, well, you're hurting me by not giving me something you don't want to do.
Yeah.
I'm in
Anyway,
so much pain.
yes.
Yeah.
Ugh. You can stay in pain. It's fine.
Yeah.
Anyway, so, but she also believed, yes, that the husband who imposed his wife sexually against her will was guilty of rape. But that's understandable that like, this was really controversial at this time because until the 1970s in the United States, most
Marital rape.
states had it where you could not be charged of rape if it was your wife.
Oh yeah.
So
It's
it's not
definitely
like
a thing.
that was real radical at that time. And even now, for some real dumb people, that's radical. Ida advocated for at least 20 to 30 minutes of foreplay before intercourse and even suggested sex
Solid.
positions. Yeah, no, necessary.
Sorry.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We have now reached the advice portion of the
Yes,
podcast.
she gave a lot of advice.
No, I mean like it's good advice though.
It is good advice. It
It's
is.
smart. It's preparing. It's pre-warming the oven.
I do want to say though, I'm still just stuck on the fact that she has very specific needs for someone who is sleeping with a ghost.
Yeah.
What does foreplay with a ghost look like? I really am
That's the
He
so.
real
hovers
question.
nearby. I don't know.
The $1 million question.
He manifests in her clit is the last thing you said. Is that foreplay? I don't. That seems like you're getting right into it.
That seems like he's too in there.
Into
Too,
it, too in,
he's too in.
literally.
You're too present. You know what I mean? Yeah, so she also suggested sex positions and she even allowed for sex during pregnancy if the woman wanted it. During pregnancy, guys. That's crazy.
That is wild because obviously you can't have sex.
While she's pregnant, Greg?
No, you can't.
No, it's impossible. A woman before her time, Ida's pamphlets were radical AF, as the kids say. Ida tried to stay clear of the issues with distribution by keeping her education to in-person situations. But when Ida asked her mom to use the office as her at the house at her mom's house, she said no because she didn't want the house to be used to teach the slimy subject of sex. And I'm just saying this right now as a person with faulty internet. The subject of sex, although it might be uncomfortable because we're American for a lot of us, is important and it's not gross. It is a natural thing that happens. Anywho, so Ida rented a room for $7 a week and it was also within walking distance of her job, so it was perfect, but she still lived close to her mom. In 1898, Ida was indicted for mailing 3 pamphlets. Lizzie, her mother, made a deal with the U.S. District Attorney. He would suspend the case if Ida promised not to mail more pamphlets. She agreed. But as part of the deal, her mom and the DA also agreed that Ida would avoid prosecution by allowing herself to be voluntarily admitted for observation at the Pennsylvania Hospital for the Insane. She stayed there for 3 months and was diagnosed with a, quote, chronic form of mental trouble, but that was about it. She was never legally committed or judged insane by a court. She did flee to London after she was released in September because she would rather go to prison than ever go back to the asylum. Her friend
Yeah,
WT. Oh, yeah, exactly. Right, Randy?
Yeah, I mean that's fair.
Who would choose the asylum?
especially an asylum at that time.
No, no. So she went back to her friend W.T. Stead, but he was gone when Ida's mom mailed a letter talking about her spirit husband, and W.T. Stead's wife read the letter and found out that Ida wasn't actually married and was just spirit made it married. And she was like, "That's weird. Why are you friends with my husband?" Because she's technically a single woman, right? And so that's awkward. So Ida left and she moved to Chicago. She continues to
As one
fight
does,
and
you know.
yes, you have to leave. So Ida spends some time in Chicago and then she has to leave because once again she's selling pamphlets. And she kind of goes into this little fight with the postal system and her desire to sell her pamphlets. And at a certain point, she's charged again and loses her whole stock of pamphlets. So she's tired of it, right? And she decides to make her way down to New York City to the hometown of Anthony Comstock. And
No, she does not.
she does. And that's where I'm going to leave you guys until we get to whatever happens when she goes to his hometown of New York City. Because he does send her a letter and he pretends to be a 15-year-old girl asking for one of her pamphlets. So
What?
he starts baiting her. And that's where I'm going to leave you. That's a little bit of
So
Ida
I'm
Craddock.
I'm ready for part two. Like,
I, I know. You'll learn as I learn.
Oh, you're actually stopping right here?
Yeah,
Oh,
because
I thought you were just this was you splitting the episode.
no, I'm actually stopping because I did not get a chance to finish it. And I was like, I want it to be actually good. So we'll have to finish it later. But yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot. I feel like I would have finished it if I could have left a lot of it out, but it was also like really relevant, I feel like, to her story and very interesting.
I like it.
Yeah. A lot of her stuff, I felt like, I'm like, we have to learn her story. We have to, all of these parts are important to this story. But anyway, what did you guys think of most of so far Ida before she meets up with Anthony and throws down?
I just don't I'm still stuck on the astral husband situation. I just
The
don't.
astral husband is a lot where she's like, no, guys, I'm married, and my husband is a spirit.
But we're actually meant to like buy into it. You know what I mean? Like that's the part that's hard for me is like that was really the best alternative to having premarital sex is like you have an astral husband and
You
now
just have a ghost husband.
yeah, I don't
It
know.
works out
But
for some of us.
This is
and she still ended
this is
up
the
going to the
pre-vibrator days, you know.
she still ends up well, hysteria was 1880, so they're on their way. But I don't know. And she still ends up in the asylum anyway, which is fucking kind of
Because her
irritating.
mom sent her there. Her mom sent her. Attempted asyluming multiple times.
Yeah, I'm not here for the mom at all, obviously, but
I was at the beginning. At the beginning, I was like, oh, you just have weed. That's fine. But no,
And then you're like, God damn it.
every time betrayal. And then, well, that's the other thing. Ida just kept going back. She just kept going
well,
back.
she doesn't have anything else. She has an astral husband who's going to take care of her.
That's very true. That's
That's
very true,
fair.
Randy.
And in that time period, that unfortunately was the reality of living as a woman, right? Like
Well,
you needed a husband.
She had to have ghost husband though. That's the only way she could be a credible person.
I'm still so confused by how Ghost Husband was the best option. I'm
Oh,
just
I'm gonna
like,
read you more of her ghost husband writing, Randy. I cannot
I'm
describe
here
how
for it.
happy I was to possess and be possessed by him. I felt as though I could not give myself sufficiently to him. The
You
union
know
was
what? This
satisfactory in every
does make
way,
sense
Oh,
if she's
satisfactory in every way.
if
physically and mentally.
yeah, but if she's high, like
Shit.
if she took some of those seeds from her mama, I'm just saying it actually does kind of make sense that she's so happy with her astral husband.
Well, it's not just, here's the thing, Randy, is the part I didn't tell you. It's not just her astral husband that's there. She also has her like assistants, right? So in this little diary entry, Eisen, the German physician, one of her guides, assists her by helping rotate her and perform other abdominal movements, such as the girls
Oh.
from the dance du ventre in the Cairo theater perform. And
No,
whenever
you're
he
joking me.
assists,
You're joking me.
when he assists at one of the unions, it seems to me as though it's more of a success. When the orgasm approached, Soph begged me not to give way just yet.
You're literally reading this right now. I
I'm
can
reading
tell.
it right now. Yeah. That's one of her journal entries. And all I can think of now is that historian Theodore Schroeder just like reading them in his office one night and being like, Ida, I'm gonna write about you. Anywho, yeah.
I
You're
can,
welcome.
I'm here
yeah.
for it, so, you know.
Yeah, I also like honestly, Randy, I agree with you. I too was shocked by this, but I've had more time to process it. But like at every turn there was something new that I was like, how did we get here?
It does seem like a comedy of errors. Like us or a series of unfortunate events, I guess, is more of the more accurate title.
Yeah, yeah. Anywho,
That's
but yeah,
wild. That's
yeah.
actually some of that is just so wild. I'm gonna be thinking about that. When are you giving us part two?
I don't I don't know, but it will be soon.
I don't want to wait with our listeners.
Yeah, right.
I don't know. I'll have to think about it, but it really is very like, what in the hell is happening? What is this town? And I feel like this time in history is really like it's just the most random stuff. Just random.
I'm really sure that that's every time in history if we had all of the documentation still. Do you know what I mean?
No, I
Like,
totally agree.
I really think that that's probably true. We just lost everything.
We just
That's
don't
fair.
know enough about what's going on all the time.
Yeah.
There's a lot that we don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I am actually, Greg, this is also something I'm gonna need you to cover.
Okay.
Apparently, there's a whole theory. I'm saying this because you're the historian, but this is not in your in your wheelhouse. So feel free to be like Randy now. Apparently, the historical timeline is people can't decide if the Dark Ages even happened, like that century, because they're so
Randy,
Oh,
no,
I
there's
haven't
yeah,
no,
heard
I'm
that
not
in
joking,
before.
terms of like
Karina.
the loss of shit and like it's like oh we got dumb and didn't like know anything.
Yes, and so there's like this whole like conspiracy theory that all of the calendars are wrong and that time didn't actually happen.
I have heard that. I have heard that too, where it's just like made up and they just like abridged or skipped ahead or made up this time in history and
Yes. Yeah,
Mhm.
which doesn't make any sense to me as to how
Yeah,
that
no,
happened.
I mean I think we have enough documentation for like a multitude of things that happen where it's like we I don't think we just skipped and we're just like, oh yeah, like this, you know, nothing happened and we just like skipped forward.
I feel like it'd be a lot of work to do to just make up a bunch of years.
It is, yeah. Like, I mean, it's like Occam's razor, right? Like the simplistic answer is the best one. It's like shit happened, right? Like that's the simplest answer is that like time progressed and we have like so many sources like worldwide to document stuff from that time.
I mean, people will deny the existence of everything regardless of the evidence that's right in front of them. So,
But yeah,
it's
obviously.
true. But thank you for joining us on another episode of the Sip and Saga Society, and joining us through this really long journey, this really weird journey, this really technically difficult filled journey of randomness and spirituality and ghost husbands.
Ghost husbands.
If you enjoyed today's episode and would like to support our historical endeavors, please share our podcast with your friends online, find us, message us, comment on things, or just look at our website, sipandsaga.online, where we have merch. One of them is one of my favorites. Is it the "Let Me Ruin This For You" melty smiley face that Randy made? It's hilarious. Or Randy helped inspired.
I know.
It's hilarious.
It is funny. I do love
Yeah.
it.
But
It's
not as
how I
interesting
feel
as,
every time I have to ruin something. I'm like, oh, you
or
don't
every
carry that
time.
history in your head with you?
Yes, because even you ruin it for yourself sometimes, where you're
Yeah, I
like, I
do.
could just
I
love
do.
Belgium chocolate, but now I can't. So,
It is kind of crazy to me that we were talking, you sent me that message about Belgium chocolate and my friends in Belgium. She went to she went to the chocolate, she went to a chocolatier literally earlier today.
that's wild, Randy.
And I was looking at the pictures, and when we were meeting, she was like, "I'm having such a hard time because she goes, I found out that you can't grow chocolate in Belgium." And I was like, "Oh no, it is way too cold. That is not the
Mhm.
environment at all. They shipped that in." And she goes, "So how did they become?" She was like, "So how did they become uh chocolatiers?" And so she was like, "So I went down that rabbit hole." I was like,
Nope.
"You're not." And she goes,
Nope.
"I know. I'm still going, but it makes it depressing to go in there knowing the history."
Yeah,
And
it
that's
is depressing.
true. That's the "let me ruin it for you."
Well, I
Because you're
was,
like, "Oh, I still want to enjoy this thing, but it's a little less enjoyable
yep.
because you know the
That's
history."
fair.
Yeah. I was really having just a great time writing my notes, and I looked up, and there was the man being like, the chocolate of Belgium's the best. No one does chocolate like Belgium. And then the host of the show was like, Belgium began their chocolate adventure like in the 19th century because they've got a bunch of chocolate from the Congo. And I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Who was growing that for you?
Yep.
Yeah,
And that's the
that's
question.
a good question.
And
Anywho,
this
now that we've
goes
ruined chocolate, well, we'll see you for the next one. Goodbye. And if you enjoyed this episode, let us know in the comments for sure. And also, thank you for our YouTube commenter who introduced us to the wonderful subject and wonderful person that is Ida Craddock. So, goodbye for now, though. Bye.
Bye.
later, people.